Levack and Goss here with you on Radio Row in Houston, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. And joining us now, Super Bowl champion, our guy every Monday all season long, Byron Hunt joins us. And Byron, right when you walk in here at Radio Row, you get grabbed because you got your SMU hat on. Tell us a little about the conversation you just had with the guys from the NFL Network.
Hey, first of all, Levack, where the heck are you? Great to be here with Goss, and of course we're brought to you by still Katie O'Burns. Is that right?
Katie O'Burns.
Hey, let me tell you, what a great opportunity to get a chance to talk some old school football with some people from SMU. And it was just a conversation that I don't even know if I can say on the radio.
All right, keep it clean.
But the bottom line is that we had some great years at SMU, and I'm actually wearing my SMU hat that was given to me by Chad Morris when I went and spoke before the team. And it was about motivation. Unfortunately, SMU gave up 75 points that game, and the motivation didn't last into the second half. That's all I can tell you, guys. It was tough.
Byron Hunt joining us here. And Byron, this is my first time here at Radio Row. I'm looking around. I'm kind of like, oh, wow, I just saw so-and-so. I saw Marcus Allen over here. I saw Cordell Stewart over here.
Right.
You've been to Radio Row before. How much has this expanded in the last years, 10 years, that you're like, well, I cannot believe how big it's gotten now in 2017?
Hey, as I've said, the first time that we came to the Super Bowl, there was only 3 stations, and we were one of them at the Super Bowl show. I mean, now, everybody's got credentials, you got set spots, heck, back in the old days, heck, we could pretty much do whatever we wanted to, which was great. But, now everything from censorship. What the heck is that? Hey, the bottom line is that there are probably 1,000 or so stations down here. Just ESPN alone has probably got at least, 30 or 40 stations, I would think.
Right.
But the bottom line is the big game. And I tell you guys, the big game is all about, I'm going to say 2 letters, CB, cornerbacks. Cornerbacks, you better be ready. Hey, the New York Giants, they could not handle the Atlanta Falcons. They couldn't even handle the Green Bay Packers. Atlanta Falcons throws the ball around. New England Patriots, of course, throws the ball down. And I had my nephew here, Jonathan, who is my sidekick, looking up information for me, making sure I don't make a mistake on the radio. But what he said, I said, Jonathan, tell me about the pass defense for the New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, they're down like 27th or something like that. New England Patriots are 14th. Then we talk about sacking the quarterback. Hey, if you got quarterbacks throwing the ball, you got to get pressure on the quarterback, and neither one of those teams are very good in sacks either. They're in the middle of the pack to the lower of the pack. So somebody on this station said it was going to be a 9-6 game. That couldn't have been me. That couldn't have been me. This game is looking like a over. And let's say you just happen to be at the Las Vegas Hilton listening to us right now, all the folks in Albany, New York. Let's say you got to fly to Las Vegas. A lot of people fly to Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. Let's say you go out to Vegas. I think the Patriots are given 3 points.
Yes.
But I bet that over is probably close to 60, 61. Not that I'm a betting man, but hey, we're at the Super Bowl. Why not?
Byron Hunt with us, and tonight is media day, and you bring up the cornerback position.
Right.
Levack's claim to fame is that 2 years ago, he's at media day, and Malcolm Butler's kind of hanging around a bit. He's one of the backups at the time, and he goes up to Malcolm Butler and says, I think you're going to make a big play in the game tonight. Of course, Malcolm Butler then goes on to have the game-winning interception for the Patriots and win that game, and cornerbacks are a huge difference. But media day in itself, not just here at Radio Row, but you as an ex-player, you would have to go to this. How would you react if you had 50 to 100 media outlets kind of, hey, can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? What's your favorite dessert? What's your favorite crayon color? If you had to deal with that leading up to the game, how would Byron Hunt have reacted years ago?
Hey, I think, first of all, we would all be thrilled because the pay scale is about 10 times what we were getting paid. So what the heck, if all you got to do is sit around and answer some stupid questions from all the different press around the country, is that it? Is that all you got to do on media day? Hey, piece of cake. We can go out drinking afterwards and have a great old time. I mean, that's easy pickings for us, I mean, I tell you. But it is a fantastic day. I know some of the players are not really into it, but hey, the media's got a job to do. We're talking about the biggest game. Well, some people might say soccer. Some people might even say cricket. Some people might say rugby, but here in the United States, we say the Super Bowl is the biggest game of the year. Hey, you know what? All the people are going to be watching. Hey, Albany, let me tell you, be alert. A couple things going down. I said the word CB. That means another thing, communication and blocking. On that offensive line, there's going to have to be some blitzing because they got to get to the quarterback. Neither one of these teams can just line up and get to the quarterback on their own. So if you let Tom Brady, if you let my man Matty Ice Ryan stand back and throw the ball, they're going to pick you apart. The offensive line has got to communicate, and they got to block. It's going to be huge.
I want to get your prediction next, but we're going to take a break. We're going to talk to Levack back at studio. We're going to get the guys ready to go. We're live from Radio Row. It's Goz here with Byron Hunt. We'll come back to you next year on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com. All right, Goz, back with you here live from Radio Row in Houston, 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com. And you may not hear Levack's voice right now. And the reason for that is because what happened with our travel situation. If you don't know the story, if you just may be listening, our luggage has been lost close to 22 hours. Our equipment has also been lost, but we've been hanging out with you. We're still giving you the best we can here live from Radio Row in Houston with you. And Byron Hunt is making now the home trip. Usually we got him on the phone every single week. We got him live here in his state, Texas. And Byron, we'll get back to football here in a second. But we're sure we got to ask you this. Have you ever had this situation happen to you either as a player or going through your life where your luggage gets lost for a day? You're trying to piece everything together and you're like, ugh, just one of those days.
Well, I was not directly involved with this. I'm going to tell you why it is because after the Super Bowl, after we beat the Denver Broncos 39-20 out in Pasadena, California, beautiful stadium in front of a mob of Giant fans out there. There's also a lot of Bronco fans as well. But I decided, like probably a couple other guys too, that I was going to stay in California for a couple other days while the team flew back. I mean, who the heck wants to fly back to cold New Jersey after we won the Super Bowl?
Right. Hang out there in Cali for a few days.
So anyway, I stayed out in California, but this is what happened. We flew back, and everybody, we got all our, Super Bowl helmets, the logos on the jerseys, T-shirts, everything else. And when I tell you the airline, and I'm not going to mention the airline because I think they're out of business right now, but the airline some kind of way allowed the people that were working in the luggage, they took everything, all the Super Bowl T-shirts, jerseys, everything they can get their hands on that had the Super Bowl logo from the New York Giants football victory out in Denver, Colorado. So no, I've never had anything like this happen, but that did happen to the entire team. Now think about that.
That's way worse. Levack and I felt bad about losing luggage. That is much worse. And they got all that stuff for free. I'm a little surprised by this. Maybe I just missed it. But are you wearing the Super Bowl ring today? And if not, where do you usually have the ring? Where is the ring? Well,
hey, first of all, I'm not wearing my Super Bowl ring, but I'm not going to tell anybody what that ring is. I mean, it's a reason why is that I believe in it. This happened. The first day that I got the ring, I put it on, and stupid me, I wasn't thinking or whatever, because I'm not, how many people have Super Bowl rings, right? So I get a Super Bowl ring. First time the New York Giants have ever gotten Super Bowl rings. We all got them. I went to the bathroom, took my ring off, not even thinking about it, washed my hands, and walked right out.
What?
I'm serious. Yeah, some of you may have done it with your cell phones or maybe even your wedding bands, but the Super Bowl ring, the 1986 17-2 New York Giants, first time ever in history, you can't be leaving that laying around. So that was the last time I wore my ring. So
wow, take us back to the ceremony. We'll touch on the game here in a second. It's Goz live from Radio Row with you, Byron Hunt, here on his home turf in Texas with us here on 104.5 The Team. Back to the ceremony itself. It's you and your teammates. You guys have won the big game. What was it like? And when you look down at the ring, we know they're getting bigger and bigger and bigger every single year. Did you look at that ring and thought, this is actually too big? I can't have this wearing around all the time.
Well, it is too big, and it is. It's very difficult to wear. I kind of associate with, and if you've ever seen this, which I've seen it many times, because in the world of sports or in the world of business or just in the world in general, you'll see a young lady with a gigantic wedding ring on, right? That's so big. Well, that's kind of like what it is wearing a Super Bowl ring. But it's a little bit different because a lot of people say, okay, if that ring is a Super Bowl, they know what wedding rings look like. But it is very uncomfortable. Plus, it attracts. I mean, it attracts a lot of unwanted attention, if you know what I mean. So you got to be careful.
That's right. I definitely know what you mean. Byron Hunt joining us now, and we're talking about him wearing the Super Bowl ring around, where the Super Bowl ring is. But let's go a little bit farther back. Let's go to the game itself. Thinking back, Atlanta Falcons, first time they've been here since the late 90s. The New England Patriots, Brady and Belichick, now a record amount of time for that franchise and that combo of quarterback, coach in the big game. You were there in the locker room getting ready for a Super Bowl. Take us to that time and the moments leading up to the game before kickoff, seeing the crowd, the emotion, the fireworks, the national anthem. What was it like getting ready for the big game?
Hey, we were fired up, and we were also very confident because we had beat the Denver Broncos 9-6 at the old Giant Stadium. And for all those trivia people out there, for all those people that want to hear something about Giant history that not many people are going to know, is that game, there was no offensive touchdown score. Think about this. John Elway, Phil Simms, 9-7 game, not one offensive touchdown scored. The only touchdown was scored by George Martin on a super tip pass play by John Elway. He tipped it up in the air, caught it himself, ran it back in the end zone. That was the only score. When I say touchdown, excuse me, not the only score, that was the only touchdown of that game, and we felt confident that we could stop the Denver Broncos. And let me tell you, they were tough. John Elway, not only a terrific athlete, fast, strong. I bet that guy could throw a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. I guarantee you, because he could throw the heck out of football. But what we did is we slowed them down enough on defense and our offense. Let me tell you, we had an offense that was getting. They were really peaking. The last game of the season, we scored 55 points. We had 49-3 the 49ers, 21-0 John Riggins and the Washington Redskins, and of course 39-20 Super Bowl. So to be honest with it, we weren't overconfident. We knew we were going to win that game. Hey, let me tell you, you can't go 16-2 into the Super Bowl and not win the freaking game. You got to win it.
Hey, let's get into that game now. This year, Super Bowl 51, the Falcons versus the Patriots. Byron Hunt joining us, and you touched on the two big letters, CB, communication, blocking, cornerbacks, all those things. Take us through what you believe is going to happen. And not only are you going to offer up a prediction, we're going to have your nephew, Jonathan, also offer up a prediction. He is a possible radio host in the making. Don't be too good, Jonathan, by the way, because Levack and I still need a job. So don't be too good, but we're going to offer it up to your uncle first, and then your guys' thoughts on all coming Super Bowl 51 live here in Houston.
Well, there's a couple things that I look at is that, first of all, it's been 2 weeks off between the last games that either one of these teams have played. The last time New England Patriots played here in Houston, my nephew, just told me on the way up here that it was the Eagles. You remember Terrell Owens with the broken leg, come out with the broken leg, and the Eagles the Eagles would score a lot of points. The Patriots scored a lot of points. Hey, it could be that kind of game. It could be one of those back and forth games. Hey, I'm not saying it's going to be there. But let me tell you, the team that scores first, in my opinion, is the team that's going to win the game. Because especially if you score a touchdown. Because that means the other team has got to come back and score a touchdown. If the other team comes back and scores a field goal, and then next you get kick the ball off, now 7-3, and that team goes back and scores 14, you do not want to be chasing either one of these teams. We've seen what they've done in the playoffs. You get behind on one of these teams, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Atlanta can throw the ball as well as anybody. They got terrific receivers. They take the ball away on defense, just like the Patriots. Neither one of these teams have lockdown, shut down defenses, but they do take the ball away, and they do prevent teams from scoring in the red zone. But in between, there could be a lot of passing yards, maybe a lot of running yards. I'm saying, hey, the first team that scores is going to be a team that wins. Hey, don't forget about turnovers. But I think it's going to be one of those kind of games where, hey, if I get my horse on the lead, then you got to come catch me.
All right, so let's get a winner. Well, let's get it. Falcons or Patriots? Falcons or Patriots? Falcons or Patriots? Let's hear it.
Hey, Byron, hey, you heard it right here on ESPN. Byron Hunt was asked to give a prediction, and he did not. He forgot. But let me give you my prediction. I'm going to say 38-32. New England Patriots in a high-scoring game. That's my prediction.
Brady and Belichick at their 5th. All right, Jonathan, let's see if you can one-up your uncle here. Give us your thoughts, Patriots, Falcons.
All right, well, my thoughts is, first I want to see Bill Belichick, because this will be a tough study to study for the Falcons, because they both have 2 good running backs and they got Julio. But if to me, like what my uncle said, whoever scores first is going to win. But I want to take 42-38 Falcons.
All right, so the guys disagree. One's got the Falcons, one's got the Patriots. Maybe you guys can agree with this, because I know we asked you this the last 2 weeks, Byron, and we're going to continue to ask it because now we're here in Houston. We're here in the home state of yours, Texas. Where are we going this week? Are we getting the barbecue? Where's the place to be? Jonathan, you could offer up whatever you want to. Where are the places we got to make sure before we leave, because we've already had enough go wrong for us this week? Where do we got to make sure we got to eat and hang out this week?
Well, it's barbecue. Yeah, if you want to check out barbecue, and look, could I be plugging somebody? Papa's Barbecue in Houston, and of course, hey, if you want barbecue, you got to have barbecue. I don't know where you are. Hey, all those people from Albany, all those people from the surrounding area that are coming down to the Super Bowl. Hey, the weather is sunny and beautiful. Let's say you hadn't decided to go to the Super Bowl yet, and you're almost there. Get on the plane and come down here. The weather's going to be beautiful. Galveston's only a few miles away. And a little bit further, you can get all the way down to Padre Island, Mustang Island, my old stomping ground from college days. And but you got to check out some great barbecue, and you got to check out some great Mexican food. Hey, me and Levack and guys, we're going to be hanging out at some other places that I might not be able to talk about on the radio. But I put it this way: you got to experience Houston Super Bowl, guys. Come on down, and ladies. When I say guys, I mean girls and guys, or young men and young women. And hey, if you can't make it down here, go check out KDO Burns. If the snow's in the way, get you a snowplow on your car, on your truck. Get out of that driveway and get down and drink some suds and watch a great Super Bowl game down in Houston. And listen to us, guys. Anybody in Albany that's not listening to us, that I'm going to flag you right now, give you a 15-yard penalty, and send you down to KDO Burns for a shot.
There's Byron Hunt. Jonathan, anything to add to your uncle right there?
Well, if you haven't been to Houston, it's a great place to be. We got a lot of sightseeing. We got people coming down. We got your Atlanta people coming, getting ready to come down. So it's gonna be a fun weekend out here.
There it is, Byron Hunt. Jonathan joining us here live from Radio Row. Guys, enjoy the week here in Houston. Best of luck for a good matchup this week, and we appreciate you guys spending some time with us.
All right, guys. Hey, find that freaking luggage, will you? Get it to us ASAP.